Alright guys, how's it going Metaverse? Jedi back again, alright? We're just busting these videos out. Too much to get caught up on. Even if they're just generic videos right now, I'm just trying to bust as many out as I can this weekend. And try to cover a vast majority of things that I want to get up on this channel. And, that way, over the next course of the next week or two, we can actually spend more in-depth videos where it's probably going to be something along the lines of 20-30 minutes going through the white paper line by line, and some other things in detail. And that's going to be for almost all the projects I'm doing. Right now, I'm just trying to get stuff out there, get people looking at these, get people really just researching it themselves, because some of them have been pretty decent for me, and also this is kind of, just making sure people are educated, especially friends and family and just the community as a whole. So, Drip Network, most people have heard about this that are already in DeFi, are already in crypto, and already in NFTs. But for a lot of the people, like my coworkers, my family, my friends, when I talk about what Drip is, they think I'm doing drugs or something crazy. When you talk about compounding 1% interest on a daily basis, um, that sounds like you're just making that shit up, right? But here we are. We're going to teach you about drip and how we're actually making 1% interest daily and compounding that into our investment, right? My goal for this is to hit $300 a day, and then once I hit $300 a day, then I'm going to be pulling out consecutively for 7 days. And that way I'll kind of pay myself back and reinvest in other different NFT projects, or probably just, pay my bills. Why not, right? If I can get some stuff paid for, some food paid for, that'd be cool. And that's the goal of this, right? Just start making some extra passive income, which we're slowly starting to do right now, and over time kind of build it up from there. So when we're looking at Drip, this is Drip Network, their main page, okay? So we're just going to connect using MetaMask, and you have to be on the Binance network, okay? So you need to get BNB coin to buy into this protocol, okay? So that's the native coin you need to switch over to get the drip coin. And so you would do that on this page here for the swap on the fountain page. You'd come down here, deposit whatever I would want to for my BNB. I only have, 20 bucks of BNB right now, so I'm not really going to deposit it, alright? Oh, excuse me guys, my bad. And so, if we want to, if we have drip coin, we can just sell it here as well. You scroll down, we have roughly it's about a daily chart, I believe. We can zoom out. And for the most part, we've been doing pretty consecutive. All right, so not too bad because, I bought in when I first put like $300 in this. I was like, yeah, this is bullshit, right? No way you're gonna make $300 um, turn into like what 900 over the course of a year. Pff, whatever. You make 0.05% interest in a standard savings account in a bank. That's ridiculous. That's now that like I've got involved with crypto and DeFi and actually like started to learn about different things, I can put my money in an account for a stable coin, something that's going to be considered a stable coin, which is either USDT, USDC, and that is pegged to the US dollar, so it'll always equal $1. And even there's essentially protocols to where you can have it put in there with a stable coin in a very secure place and make anywhere from 5 to 10% on a yearly basis on it, and that's like low numbers for crypto, right? And for like DeFi, that's like low numbers. But whenever you're looking at 10% compared to half a percent, you're like, huh, the banks are kind of doing something funky, huh? It's because a lot of these protocols, instead of just taking all your money, they're paying it back into the community. Okay? So you got to think about, how are banks so rich? They make it off of you. They make all their money off of your back. Okay? So it's just one thing to think about, guys. 1% doesn't sound like a lot, right? You're like, oh, I got 20% on my credit card, or I got 15% on my credit card, or you got 10% on your credit card, right? And you're like, oh, that's not that much. That's not that much. And if you do the math on some of this stuff, these numbers can get pretty crazy. just on the interest you can accrue on stuff. And I'm talking about the making money aspect in DeFi, right? So in here we have the chart, we have, where you can buy and sell it. And if you go over to the faucet, right? So this is going to be your compounding page, okay? So this is where we're going to come, and you can see I haven't pulled mine yet for today. I'm sitting at $10.87 a day that I'm making just for holding, roughly $900. I do believe that I paid in about $700 into it, and the price of the coin did elevate quite a bit. I bought in roughly around 110 with like $300, and then I put another $400 in there later. And now we're sitting at about $145 a coin, so it is elevating. People are taking more interest into this. And then you can just see here the amount that I've compounded over the lifetime that I've had my account here. So whenever you want to essentially deposit to your faucet, right, you want to put your money in there. And one thing that you guys have to know, you can't get your money out. It's not like a stock. What you're going to be doing is you're quite literally putting that money in there forever. Bye bye, never going to see it. Okay, that's gone. Don't think about it, don't worry about it. But you can still make 1% daily on that, which over the course of a year, 365, you're sitting at 365%, or 3,600 APR if it's compounded daily, I believe, right? Yeah. So that's what we're roughly going to be looking at over the course of a year if you compound. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Pretty crazy stuff. Compounding is 1,000% the seventh wonder of the world. 1,000%. So here's what we're going to do. So if we wanted to deposit drip, then we would just come down here. We would fill out our amount we wanted to deposit, or like me, you just hit max, boom. Except for I have a very small nothing in here, so I'm not even going to worry about that. Or I'll show you. So we're going to go to swap. I'm only going to do I don't even know if it'll let me transfer. We're going to do a very small amount, like $5 of this coin. And so we're going to do that. Make sure we're going to bump this down to 1%. And then we're going to buy, see if it'll let me. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to buy the drip coin, right? We're spending our BNB, trading that out, and we're getting drip back, okay? Purchase successful. Sweet. All right, now we have a little bit of drip. Awesome. And once that goes through, give it a second. And then one thing to consider too, guys, if you're new into crypto, most of the networks are getting faster as time goes on and networks are improving. ETH usually is very slow, very expensive, and definitely someone that's like has a regular day job and doesn't have just bougie money to spend. You want to invest $1,000, you have to burn $100. To me, that sounds ridiculous, and that's why I really don't use anything on Ethereum. For the most part, I don't support it. I support smaller stuff like Solana, something that's fast, independent, it's easy to work with, it's easy for the developers to get into. Something to think about, alright? So we got our drip coin now. So now we're gonna bump over here to the faucet. Now we're gonna max this sucker out. Boom. And a part of how this economy works too is you get taxed 10% whenever you deposit your money into the drip faucet, as well as you get taxed 10% whatever you take out. And so that kind of essentially helps boost it up and helps pave the way a little bit. As well as there is a white paper, which, read the white paper, guys. I think I've read this twice now because I didn't understand it. Like, if you don't understand it, just take your time, go over it again. If you don't understand it, find a good community that'll help you out, like Final Frontier, guys. Check them out. They're great folks over there, alright? They'll help you out. And as well as, just make sure you do research on the projects that you're putting money in. Check out who's the team, where did the team come from, how long has the team been working in this industry, if they're even doxed, right? Some projects are just very undoxed, so it depends on what you're getting into, right? Like the rock game. I don't believe they're doxed at all. I couldn't find anything on them. But that's the risky thing. Like, do you want to risk a rug pull? Well, for a $50 NFT, well, now if I bought in $50, that wouldn't be that big of a deal, right? But it depends on where you sit at with that kind of thing and what you can accept as a loss for yourself at the end of the day. So just make sure you do your research, guys. And as always, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is just to help educate you guys, right? It's help to entertain you a little bit with some of the game features I'll be having going on later, and some live streams as well. And it's just really to help educate family, friends, and the community. So let's get back to it. So we're just going to be depositing this drip. So we're going to max this guy out, and then we're just going to hit deposit down here, all right? So it's saying, hey, you need a minimum of 1 drip to deposit. So I did forget about this, guys, my bad. So we need at least 1 drip to make an actual deposit from the exterior, right? So what that means is, if we pull up our drip price, check this out. Okay, so, oh, that's right, we're coming from an all-time high. We just hit an all-time high, guys, as well. Alright, and drip is looking pretty decent right now. I will tell you that, alright? So, I'm going to say we're feeling great about drip. And so, yeah, 1 drip right now. So, to buy into this protocol, you just need 140 bucks. And what I would say is, if you get coffee once a day at Starbucks for a month, just don't drink coffee for a month. Put your money in this. It'll pay you back. I'm not even done yet. We're going deeper, alright? So, even if you only invested that amount, you would still make a ridiculous amount of money by the end of the year. Okay. So, long story short, we're going to get back over here. Can't deposit, but if I did, that's where balance would go here. And I still need to recompound my daily, so I'm going to hydrate. And so whenever you hydrate, you actually don't get taxed. It's just putting that money that you made that daily back into it, which raises that slightly every day, right? And so once you really start getting into where you're making $100 a day, that compounding really starts turning into, like, for what I consider mind-boggling numbers, all right? And speaking of that, a community member in the drip community, right? He made a calculator to where you can actually essentially kind of scope out where you might be at 100 days, 200 days, 300 days, depending on where you think we might be with the protocol, even if the price stays the same, right? As well as, you know, I'm on the side of, like, we need to kind of test this with a little bit of money first, make sure nothing crazy happens. It turned out good for me for about a month, so I put some more money in. And I might be along the way of moving over some of my savings to actually move into the crypto economy as a whole. Let's put it that way. There's too many projects right now that are very vetted, very backed, and there's a lot of play to earn where you can literally make money. Like Star Atlas, you want to make money with Star Atlas? Too easy. You want to make a daily payout with Star Atlas? You can do it, just like Drip. Okay? It's not going to be as good as Drip, but you can still do it. There's lots of passive income that's out there right now. Okay, guys? So boom, done, recompounded it, and now my daily amount just went up a little bit, so I'm actually going to copy this, and now I'm going to show you guys this spreadsheet, right? I'm going to leave the link to this down below. If you want, you can actually look at his YouTube channel, and he'll kind of have a guide for you guys. I'll show you my guide, which I kind of ignore some of this stuff on here. And what I mean by that is I deposit, you know, if I want to just recheck my numbers on what I'm pulling and acting like today is day 0, then what I do is I just go to my drip, get rid of that. So I go to my drip, I just copy that for the amount of my balance. I come back over here, I add that guy. Oh, wrong one. I just copied the wrong thing. And now we're going to go back over here, drop that in. Okay, so we change our starting deposit, okay, to what we have today, because we're just going to look at really this and then what we would be paying in from here forth. And so we're roughly going to check the price of drip. Roughly, we're about the same, about 19 cents. So we're just going to change this, drop that down to 19 cents. And then I'm just like, yes, Yes for that. And then it also, kind of shows you what your hydrate fee would be with the BNB that you're paying out. It's under $1 you're paying. So realistically, if you have a smaller amount of money in, I would wait till at least you have $3 in there, so make 2 days, 3 days, and then once you have $3, then I pull it out, because then at least it's $2 compounding instead of where you're losing like half of it. At least well at $1, at $2, at least if you lost half, at least you'd have $1 going in there. But still a slow process to kind of build up, right? Still worth it, but it's a very slow grind. Okay. So right now I'm roughly making $9.82 with drip. Okay, and my balance in here in US dollars, we are looking at $976.19, guys. So off of a $970 deposit, I am currently making on a daily rate 980 or sheesh, $9.82. Okay. As well as even if I didn't add any money to this, which I plan on doing at every paycheck, even if it's $200, right? As long as I can buy one drip every paycheck and throw it in here, there we go. Slowly, slow and steady. And if we roughly look at our 100-day mark, at 100 days we're going to be making $25 a day off of $1,000, right? If the price stays the same. And I actually ran some numbers at about a yearly rate. If the price of drip dropped by 70%, and I still would be making a ridiculous amount of money. So, this is one tool you can play around with it, look at it, check stuff out. 200 days, I'm going to be making $65 a day if I don't touch it. If I don't touch anything, I just keep recompounding, okay? And my plan, like I said, we might be throwing another $2,000 in there roughly. So we're just going to go say, hey, what's 2,000? So roughly 15, we'll just round it to 15 drip. So I'm going to say tomorrow I'm going to deposit 15 drip. Boop, boop. Calculate that out. And then right after that, the next day, I'm making roughly $30 a day. $30 a day for a $3,000 investment, really, guys. Like, even if you start small with this, even if you start buying one drip at a time like I plan on doing, you can get there, right? I'm kind of cheat coding because I'm just like, hey, fuck it, I don't need a 401k anymore. I'm just gonna do some of this. It depends on how in depth you want to get with crypto and what you know, are willing to do. I'm young enough that I know, hey, if I go bankrupt and live on the streets, I'm 24 and can do that. Like, I can come back. So that's where my headset is, my mindset is at on that, as well as I do research the living shit out of stuff. I read most white papers. I very rarely try to kind of ape into stuff. So always just take your time and read stuff, guys. Make sure you do the research, please. You know, make sure the research is there. Make sure the viewership is there. Make sure the community is there. So make sure you guys do your research on that. And that's pretty much the quick rundown for Drip, as well as they do have a Manor farm that's out now. It's another DeFi protocol, and that's going to be a whole nother video, guys. So I will catch y'all later.